been brought to my attention that apparently you did not relinquish your position in the County Public Service before assuming this role in your appointments. The County Government Act expressly disqualifies state officers and public officers from the positions created under Section 58(1) of the Act. Being a public officer, you are thus disqualified from the position of the Secretary to the Board.
Were there other subsequent advisories from any other constitutional organ in that respect?
Yes.
Do you have that evidence before the Senate? And if yes, lead us to the page.
Page 2 of volume 2. Page 2 of the same volume 2.
Would you kindly identify that letter?
The advisory on revocation of the appointment for Ms. Virginia Kawira Meru.
From whom is it?
It is from the chairman of the Meru County Public Service Board.
Who is the recipient or the addressee of that letter?
Our Excellency Honorable Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor, Meru County.
When is it dated?
It is dated 12 March 2024.
What is the advisory in conclusion?
In conclusion, it's on page 3 of volume 2, the last paragraph. In conclusion, it is the board's considered opinion that your letter dated 8 March 2024 to Ms. Virginia Kawira Meru revoking her appointment as the Secretary/CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board is not legally binding, as the officer is duly appointed as per the existing laws.
Thank you. Did the governor respond to that letter?
Yes.
Do you have evidence before the Senate? And if yes, kindly read us to the same.
Page 4.
Yes.
Of the same document, that is volume 2.
Yes.
Page 4. The governor writes back.
Yes.
Writes back.
Who is writing back?
The governor.
Yes.
The governor writes back.
When is the date of the letter?
12 March 2024.
And who is Julius Kianga Mitu?
Julius Kainga is the chairman Meru County Public Service Board.
Is he the recipient of that letter?
Yes.
Who is the author of the letter?
The author of the letter on page 6 of the same bundle, that is volume 2, is Our Excellency Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, Governor Meru County.
Would you kindly read the conclusion?
On page 5 of the same volume, the last paragraph, in conclusion, Ms. Virginia Kawira Meru failed to resign as a public officer before taking the position of the Secretary of the County Public Service Board, despite promising to appointment amounts to an irregularity and as such, I have revoked the same to cure and correct this irregularity.
Between the governor and the county assembly, who was supposed to make a finding of whether the process was illegal or not?
The county assembly.
Thank you. Do you have any other advisory in that respect? And if yes, kindly read us to the page that contains the same.
Yes, there was another advisory on the same.
From whom?
From the Public Service Commission.
When is it dated?
16th February 2023.
Who is addressed on that letter?
The letter is addressed to the then Acting Chief Officer, Public Service and Administration, Department of Legal Affairs, Public Service and Management, County Government of Meru.
What is the content of the letter?
Advisory on leave of absence for serving county public officers wishing to take contract as county chief officers.
What did the commission say in respect to leave of absence? Is a person who is on leave of absence deemed to be holding 2 jobs at the same time?
No.
Would you kindly read the conclusion to that letter?
The conclusion on page 8 of the same document, that is volume 2, reads, Please note that care must be taken to ensure that leave of absence is only granted for employees that take up contractual positions that are not within the staff establishment of the county. Leave of absence may be therefore applicable to employees appointed to positions of the county secretary, members of county executive committee, chief officer, personal staff of the governor, and members of the county public service board and the county assembly service board or other contractual appointments in other bodies outside the county public service to which an officer cannot be seconded or transferred.
So is it your evidence, therefore, that the said Virginia had qualified for leave of absence?
Yes.
And what circumstances is she holding the current position? Is she permanent and pensionable, or she's on contractual basis?
Virginia Kawira is on a contract of 6 years as required by the law.
Have you lined up her as a witness before this assembly?
Yes.
And did the governor, you have evidence that the governor never heeded to that advice, yes?
Yes.
What did she do therein after?
The aggrieved person, that is Virginia Kawira Mirit, went to court.
Yes.
And she is in the office courtesy of a court order.
Do you have that evidence before the assembly? And if yes,
it is on page 9.
Is that a copy of the court order?
Yes.
And you have the court pleadings before the Senate to prove your case? Yes?
Yes.
And you wish to tender them as evidence before this assembly?
Yes.
In summary, in respect to that particular ground, was the revocation lawful?
It wasn't.
Did it violate the Constitution?
It violated the Constitution.
Did it violate Section 58, subsection 4 and 5 and Section 59A of the County Government Act?
Yes.
Did it violate Article 251 of the Constitution?
Yes.
Is that a ground under Article 181 and Section 33 of the removal of a governor?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's go to the next point. Failing to appoint the chairpersons of Meru County Revenue and Board and Meru Microfinance. But before we go to that, has this revocation appointed the revocation of CPA Virginia Kawira Mwangaza, Kawira, affected service delivery in Meru County?
Yes.
In which way has it affected service delivery?
It has affected service delivery in Meru County because the county executive has really, in many times, usurped the powers of the Meru County Public Service Board, and because of that, then the Meru County Public Service is not running well.
Thank you. Does this conduct of the governor promote confidence in our office?
No.
Does it promote good governance?
No.
Is it does she exhibit accountability to the people of Meru County?
No.
Does she respect the sovereignty of the people when she goes on and ignore the performance of the county assembly? Does she uphold the sovereignty of the people as enshrined under Article 1 of the Constitution?
No.
Does it violate the provisions of Article 73 of the Constitution under the Leadership and Integrity Act?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's proceed to issue number 2. You say that you must be removed from office, and you crave to this assembly to do so for having failed to appoint the chairpersons of the Meru County Revenue Board, Meru Microfinance Corporation, Meru Youth Service Board, and Meru County Investment and Development Corporations as required by the law, thus failing to operationalize the said boards and or illegally appointing the chairperson, yes?
Yes.
Why do you want her to be removed from office on that basis? How has she failed to appoint the chairperson of Meru County Revenue Board?
The governor has failed to appoint the chairperson of the Meru County Revenue Board because after the expiry of the terms of office of these bonds have had no board chairman. And I believe even the board members, because we have not seen any board member gazetted after the expiry of the other board members. So by not appointing the board members, who are actually the ones who are supposed to supervise and also ensure accountability in these bonds, this means that the bonds have continued, or the secretariats of these bonds have continued to expend public funds without authority. And this is an action that may be subject to abuse. And I believe...
Yes.
Yes.
Proceed.
And I believe when there's a bond and it's not constitutionally constituted, it amounts to abuse of office and a violation of the statutes that govern that institution.
Who was responsible of appointing these boards, the chairpersons of these boards?
The governor.
Is there any act of parliament or act of the county government of Meru indicating so or giving her the power to do so?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Would you kindly read us to that provision, and is it before the assembly? Yes?
Just a moment.
And as you proceed to indicate to us, how has this affected the delivery and the performance of the county government of Meru?
I have said it has affected the development and performance of the county government of Meru because in the budget, these bonds are allocated a big amount of money, millions and millions of money, and this is public funds that should be spent prudently, and also the amounts of money should be spent with a lot of accountability and also and supervision. And again, these bonds are the ones that approve expenditures for these bodies. The bond is the one that approves expenditures for the bonds. So it means without a bond, there's no approval of expenditures, and then there's no accountability.
Can the board secretariat undertake that function in the absence of the chairman?
The secretariat have no mandate. They have no mandate from the county laws and the county statutes to undertake any spending without the approval of the board.
Kindly lead the Senate to the law that says it's only the governor who can appoint the chairpersons.
The Meru County Revenue Act, Section 6, talks about the composition of the board, and Section 6(1)(a) talks about the board shall consist of an executive chairperson appointed by the governor with the approval of the county assembly.
Who are the other members?
The other members of the board are the chief officer for the time being responsible for finance, C, the chief executive officer who shall be an ex-officio member and the secretary to the board, and D, 2 professionals appointed by the executive member through a competitive process in consultation with the governor, and E, it says not more than 2/3 of the members shall be of the same gender.
So according to that provision of the act, it's only the chairman who is an outsider from the existing systems of the county government, yes?
No.
Who else is a member?
There are 2 others I've just read, 2 other members.
Is that meant to enhance accountability in the boards?
It is meant to enhance the accountability in the bonds.
In the absentia, can the accountability be enhanced or upheld?
It cannot.
Can the secretariat expend monies allocated to the board in the absentia of the chairperson?
No.
Has these boards been expending money?
Yes.
Do you have evidence before the Senate?
Yes.
And yes. Kindly lead us to that provision where the evidence is found.
It's another volume.
Honorable
Yes.
Senators, kindly go with me to volume 2
Volume.
at page 358. Sorry, 383, Honorable Senators. Volume 2, page 388. 383, I beg your pardon. 383, I beg your pardon. Kindly lead the senators to understand that piece of evidence count by count. You can see where we have number 1, yes?
Yes, number 1
Is Meru County Microfinance Corporation, correct?
Microfinance Corporation.
Next column speaks about approved budget allocated for the year 2023-2024, yes?
Yes.
How much was allocated?
The allocation was the allocation for the financial year is 76,155,481.
And the next column speaks about exchequer issues, yes?
Yes.
What does and how much is the
51,911,631.
Then the next column speaks about actual expenditure, correct?
Yes.
How much has been expended?
63,201,198.
The next column speaks about submission of financial statements as at 31st March 2024, yes?
Yes.
What is the status?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means they were submitted.
Yes.
Yes.
So during the expenditure of during incurring of this expenditure, was the board fully constituted?
No.
How much was expended in the current status of the board?
The actual expenditure for the period in question is 63,201,198. In the absence of a legally constituted board.
What evidence do you have that at the time of the expenditures, the board had not been fully constituted? Honorable Senators, kindly go with me to from page 51 of the same bundle.
52.
51.
51.
Would you kindly identify that document for the Honorable Senators to understand?
Yes. On page 51 of volume 2, we have a Kenya Gazette.
Yes. When is it dated?
Dated 14th June 2019.
What is the Kenya Gazette number?
The Kenya Gazette number is 5202.
Yes.
Yes, the minority leader. What is the issue? What's your intervention?
Can the council go slightly slow? Because we are trying to catch up with these volumes here as he keeps on leading the witness. So if you can go slow, we are slightly, we're also recording.
So, Council, if you refer to a page, allow the senators to get to that page.
I am well
before
guided.
You flip to another page. Otherwise, then you will lose them along the way.
I am humbly
Proceed.
guided, and I beg, I apologize for the same.
You have done slightly over 1 hour, so just be guided on the time.
Let's go to page 48 of the same bundle. Madam Witness, what is reflected in that particular page?
Page 48, we have
It's a gazettement, correct?
it's a Gazette notice.
Who is being gazetted?
We have a number of Gazette notices.
You can
for-
see the gazette number 5200, correct?
5200.
Yes, let's deal with that first.
The Gazette notice on number 5200 is the Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Act.
Yes.
And the gazetted person, the chairperson is Felicity Biriri.
When is it dated?
It is dated 13th November 2017.
When was the period of the chairperson supposed to run?
It
For
was
how long?
supposed to run for a period of
Yes, from the Act. When was it supposed to run?
It's not clear from this Gazette notice, Honorable.
When was their term of service supposed to expire?
3 years?
3 years.
Yes,
With renewable term, correct?
yes.
So was the term of the persons appearing on that particular page ever renewed?
No,
Look at page 55. Or what happened to that chairperson?
this chairperson resigned on page 55. This chairperson resigned in 2022 to vie for the position of women rep.
Do you have evidence of the resignation?
Yes, on page 55.
Was the position ever filled?
No,
Pursuant to the resignation.
no.
What is the status of that chairmanship?
Still vacant.
Still vacant. And were they expending all these amounts while the position is vacant? The evidence that you give us at page 383?
Yes,
Is that let's go to the next gazettement. At page 49, you can see where we have the Gazette notice number 5202, yes?
yes,
You can see that it relates to the Meru County Revenue Board, correct?
yes.
You can